We're underneath the Jeep again, trying to get the rear main seal out. We got the bearing cap brace off, that big thing that goes across all the bearing caps, and then we actually got the bolts out for the rear main bearing, which you can see here. Trying to knock it loose. Oh, there it goes. Nice and gentle. I think what I read, there it is. Oh, and oil. Whew. All right, evacuate. All right, here it is. The rear main bearing block is off. You can see the bearing there, and you can actually see the seal. Doesn't look too bad. There's the rear crankshaft flange, and you can see the rear main seal, the upper half. It's that red thing right in there. So we're gonna push that thing out. Try the easy way first. See if we can just push it out. Yeah, that's not quite just coming out. And we don't want to jam anything up there with metal or anything, so I got a chopstick and a real small plastic hammer, and I've been kind of working at it, and it's been stuck. I think it's not that hard to get out once you free it, but just getting it freed is the hard part. So I did have to go in just in the corners with a pick, just like I did on the block, and just free up the edges. Not enough to, do any damage or anything to the metal. Again, real gentle, but I think it is starting to come now, so I think, yep, there it goes. You can see the seal pushing out. You can see it coming out, but okay, it's coming out. Oh, there we go. There we go. Upper half of the rear main seal. Trying to clean up this this part before we start putting the new one back together. Just a little bit of solvent and clean this channel out. Again, trying to use non-destructive methods. I like plastic or wood or things like that for cleaning up surfaces that are pretty critical. Also Scotch-Brite, plastic, abrasive, basically. Okay, some notes that came on the packaging of the new seal. That first paragraph kind of stands out. Remove burrs from the inside diameter of the block and cap seal lid. So I noticed there's a burr. Can't see it, but I can catch my fingernail on it. So we're gonna try to clean that up. All right, we got this cleaned up pretty good. We just used some actual 220 gator cloth or gator sandpaper, whatever it is, and just real carefully just went around this edge, making sure that we didn't really take off too much material other than that burr. So once you can go all the way around with your fingernail and there's no burr, it's good. And I'm just gonna follow it up with a little bit of Scotch-Brite. Doesn't take much, just to blend that final layer. And that's good to go. Can actually see it just a little bit right there. All right, this thing's all cleaned up. Pretty happy with the way that came out. No complaints. Got the new seal. So the lip with the groove side always goes towards the front of the engine, which you could tell is where the main bearing is. So groove, lip, main bearing. whole idea is to keep oil from going past it. So I think I've been trying to debate, do I want to try to slide this in, like rotate it, just like I'm gonna have to do on the other one, or just push it into place? I can't really come up with a reason to do one way or the other, so it seems like it just kind of sits down like that pretty nicely. There is a wire actually inside this seal, so it's not just rubber. It is pretty rigid. That's the old one. It's pretty rigid, so it doesn't flex. All right, that's how it looks installed. We're gonna put some silicone, this anaerobic gasket maker stuff, along these edges, and just don't want it to get onto the seal. All right, the seal's in. Surface has been all cleaned up with solvent. I like to use lacquer thinner. We got some grease on the bearing, and I'm gonna do the seal itself, just on the rotating surface where it touches the crankshaft. So do that. I'm gonna go, in the meantime, work on putting this seal into the engine block. I do not want to install this before installing this, or I will be really upset. All right, we're back. We got the seal. We got it all kind of lubed up and ready to go. We got the orientation figured out so that the lip or the groove is going towards the front of the vehicle, and we got everything cleaned as best we could. There's no debris, none of that stuff is in there. So, oh, you know what? I forgot something. This thing, it's like a little shoehorn they provided with the kit. So I guess the whole idea is to go in like that, or like that, and then try to work the seal in there. And what that does is it just provides like a lip, I guess you could call it, so it doesn't tear the seal. Trying to put it in. All right, there it is. I don't know if you can see. So we got it started. And that edge is protected by that little plastic shim tool thing. Okay, there it is. That little tool works pretty good. Two hands. Oh, yeah, it's starting. There it is. Oh. Work the tool out just like that, and brought our handy dandy chopstick to level it out both sides. That seal is in. Looks like we pushed a little bit of grease around the sides. Even though we cleaned it once, we're definitely going to be doing another cleaning here, so stand by. All right, here's our stuff. It's kind of weird looking. It's kind of like jelly. It's definitely different than typical RTV. So, all right. That's what we're looking like. All right, it's time to go install this thing. The bearing line this thing up as close as I can. Little bit of squeeze out on the driver's side. Not much, just enough in that tab right there. Very tiny bit. All right, just had to run it down a little bit with the wrench, and it looks like you can see, let me see if I can do some better lighting. A little bit of squeeze out there, which kind of might look like a lot at first, but it looks like it's actually just the right amount, because when I got up there real close and looked at it, which is hard to do with the camera, I could see that it's not going all the way to the crankshaft. So that's exactly what I want. I want just enough to, you know, cover the seal, but not enough to interfere with the rotating surface. So that's what I was looking for, and now I got to torque these bolts. All right, so the bearing brace is back on. Everything's torqued down to spec. It's done. I'm about ready to put the oil pan back on. So that concludes part one. Hope it was enjoyable for you. I definitely had fun making the video. Thanks.